There's something that you write in the book about how your mind can either be a wand or a weapon.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So that is all about the concept of we have at our disposal the words that we say. We also have at our disposal the thoughts that we have and the feelings that we have. And it works on this concept of like, at the beginning, you've got your thoughts. You've got loads of them. Really hard to control, right? Really hard to just let them be because sometimes you just think, oh, I just don't want to have that thought.
Yeah.
But after a while of thinking the same thoughts, it goes into a feeling state, like an emotion state, where you start to believe it yourself. And then it goes into a frequency and energy where people pick it up. Right, and then your posture starts to change. You're either there or you're there. And then after that, you start to take all your little actions from that frequency. And then you get your results, you get your reality. So I always use it like that model. Now, you can interrupt that at any point if your words and your actions are starting to feel like a weapon. It's in your own hands. Because it can also be a wand. You've got the power to choose and interrupt that pattern at any time. There's loads of things that could do that. For me, tapping is the quickest because you're working on like your energy system, your thoughts, your nervous system, all at the same time. So you've got to say really good things to yourself. You know, this is the thing, like we are so unkind to ourselves. I used to be awful. I used to say so many things that were like, I can't do this. I'm really busy. I'm so stressed out. When I find myself slipping into that, I go back so quickly now to a place of contentment. And I believe that's because I do this every day. It's not to say I don't get low frequency. I do.
Yeah.
I'll have a complete meltdown now and again, you know, and then I'll go, I've cleared that out. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, I'll use that myself, that wand.
You've talked a lot about high frequency and low frequency. What is low frequency?
Low frequency is honestly a prison that we live in that we think is okay. And it is not okay to sit there and dwell in it with no one helping us to get out of it. I lived in that prison for a long time. And when you feel despair, when you feel that everything is super successful around you and you should be feeling grateful and you should be feeling better and all of these shoulds, somebody needs to tell you how to get up into high frequency where possibilities are.
So you believe that we can change our frequency from low frequency to high frequency?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something else. Often it's about going right to the top and combating that. You know, there are certain universal laws that exist within nature. And actually, we all have this sort of polarity, right? This sort of battery. It's like negative, positive. And we have like hot and cold and, you know, light and dark. And you don't want to wiggle around in the same place too long, wallow around in the same place too long. Do you see what I mean?
Why?
Like I had traditional therapy for a long, time. I found myself just regurgitating the feelings again and I wasn't moving forward. Now, why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If you do not imagine high frequency living for your life, what's going to happen? You're going to just notice all the low frequency again and again and again, and you're going to feel stuck, but you're not stuck. You're just repeating the same things over and over again. And you can get out of that. So I'm really passionate that can be done.
Before you tell me how we shift from low frequency to high frequency, what is high frequency?
High frequency is a state of being where you are attuned to high possibilities, high potential, high achievement that also brings you this level of contentment and ease and flow. It's creative living, really.
But what if some people aren't creative and they don't want to be creative?
Everyone's creative. We are born with an imagination. It's the gateway.
Yes, so true.
It's a gateway to our dreams. It's a gateway to our goals. That gateway gets closed if you are in nervous system stress.
And how do we shift from low frequency to high frequency?
Well, usually low frequency is simply a trauma or a nervous system response that's been ingrained. And the fun thing about that is that it doesn't take you the length of time to get out of a trauma that takes the amount of time you've had it, right? That's not the case.
Yes.
And we know that from other things like EMDR, brilliant. We know that from things like EFT tapping, that you can get in there and wiggle around with trauma, effectively, quite quickly. But if you haven't really got that, a lot of clients I work with haven't got a trauma. They haven't had something like I had.
Yes.
But they're really high achieving, for example, but they just haven't quite got the belief system in place to give them that total feeling of like, right, I'm going to go for it. I believe it. I believe in myself. I'm going to go for this. I can have it. Then that's why I started rapid tapping, so you could do a little bit every day, because we do really respond to that incremental, repetitive, helpful information. And so, I had a really cool client who was so brilliant, and she was going for a big promotion, or rather not going for it. And she said, I don't think I'm going to go for it. Now, she came to me because it was a big network role, leading a channel. And, it took a little bit of belief change, right? And there was no catastrophe. There's nothing that was stuck in sort of trauma land, like I've had. But there were things that could be done within a really short space of time, around about a month, of doing rapid tapping every day and doing visualizations and doing this work to really connect with the actual dream and desire of her heart. Why is this going to make an impact to other people in the world? Why is it not just about me being enough, but what about if I can contribute and serve with what I want to serve with? And when you sort of like flip it back and do a few other things and work with the inner gremlins, it is so powerful, because you connect to it. And when you connect to a goal, emotionally speaking, like in the feeling state, in that frequency, that's when it happens. There's no threat. Your body is primed for it. It can receive it. It's safe to receive it.
I'm confused on one part, because if I think about goal setting, how I goal set, right? And how I teach goal setting is the first step is to visualize where you want to go.
Yes.
If you don't know where you want to go, how are you going to plan any goals, right? So first step is visualize.
Yeah.
The second step, which is what most people miss, is what's stopping you from getting there.
Yep, absolutely.
What are the obstacles? What are the blockers? What are the distractions?
Yeah.
The third step is, how do you overcome those things?
Yes.
And then the fourth is, how do you break down those goals so that they fit into your lifestyle, so that you schedule them in so that they're realistic for you?
Yes.
Be big with your dreams, but be realistic with your process-based goals. I always tell people that.
Yes.
Where would tapping come into it?
So I believe in all of that. And I did all of that, and I still do all of that. The bit that got me up into the level that I have created things very quickly. Even in my career at the beginning, I was doing this stuff that is within tapping.
Right.
I was judging the BAFTAs very young. I was named like one of TV's most powerful women really young. I was landing all this stuff fast. And then I did it again. I jacked that whole career in. Then I moved into this. And then I suddenly became, best-selling author, and all of this extra stuff happened. Why? The missing part is that your body is also important in the mix. Your nervous system needs to be at a place where it feels it can associate with that feeling.
Right.
So the feeling, the somatics, the element of safety, whether that's like, woo, I'm safe and I'm dancing on tables, or I'm safe and I'm calm, it doesn't really matter. That's the element that will edge you 20%, 30% higher. That's why people come to me when they're already high achieving, to get high frequency, because then you're like really cooking on gas. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't actually. I'm
You've
confused.
got to get in your body more.
Okay, so at what point in that process would I come to you and I say, okay, well, actually, let's just take my life right now, okay?
Yeah.
I've got all these goals that I want to do this year.
Yeah.
I'm getting married in August. I've got my hen in 1 month. I've got the studio now. I've got something else really exciting coming in the mix in a couple of months. I want to make sure that I am now making, I don't know, let's just say £200,000 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you can help me do that?
Do you believe it's already done in your body? No?
Of course not.
Then you need to. Because it's already done if you believe in science today, quantum physics.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Okay. We're energy, right? If you put us under a microscope, atoms, all of that, you get that bit, right?
Yes.
We're all energy.
Yes. I'm with you there.
You're
Everything
with
is
me there.
energy.
We got it. So since 1920, there has been, as yet, sort of not disproven theory, because all science is theory, by the way,
Yeah.
that we actually exist in a place where there are waves of possibility, where everything is possible.
Mm.
When you observe that, which is a bit like visualization and goals, right?
Yeah.
And when you connect with that and you give your attention to that and your focus to that, that then becomes matter. Now that blew me away when I really started getting into this around 2010, because what that means is everything exists in this realm of possibility, in this quantum field, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if we believe that we're all energy and that's how you create things,
yeah.
that to me is an extra thing because it's already done. I teach people to know in their body, in their mind, their body, their energy, their soul, that it's already done. There's nothing to strive for. The anxiety comes from the gap in a goal. I've got to get to that. I've got to do this. The rush, the stress, the driving, the push, the hustle. That takes its toll on our body and our nervous system. So you get the nervous system right and you believe it's already done. Mm-hmm. Things happen quicker. Things happen more accurately.
So let's say, I'm actually going to just say a crazy goal now. Let's say if I want to say I want to manifest £1 million this year. Yeah. How would I make that feel right in my body? Because that feels so far-fetched. It feels completely crazy to say that.
Yeah. Manifestation often goes wrong when our dreams are too detached from us.
Okay.
So I would go through a process. I have this process, lots of D's in it. One of them is to really work on that being deciding that it's done. So let's just try it just really quickly.
Okay.
Let's do it now. So how much money would you like in your bank account?
£1 million.
Mm-hmm. So say this like it's already done. I have £1 million in my bank account.
I have £1 million in my bank account.
Out of 100%, how much do you believe that?
2%.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower it slightly so your body feels safe and we get to a point and then we play around with the emotion of it. So let's try this. I have £500,000 in my bank account.
I have £500,000 in my bank account.
How much do you believe out of 100%?
6%.
Okay. Close your eyes for me. And now imagine that you look at your bank account. Mm-hmm. Allow yourself to just feel ease and flow, looking at that bank account, all the impact that you make, all the resources that you bring to what you do, what you know is inevitable, and see £500,000 in your bank account and feel that in your body and allow that in. Okay, have you got it? Yes, good. Now, does it feel different?
Yes.
Good. So now say again, I have £500,000 in my bank account.
You know what's really interesting? I visualize a different number. I visualize £540,000.
Perfect. Go for that. Say that out loud.
I have £540,000 in my bank account.
And out of 100%, how much do you believe that?
80%.
Fabulous. Open your eyes. Now, what we would do is we would tap the gap of that 20%.
Okay.
Which is usually a false belief, a gremlin, I would call it, or your nervous system is not quite ready to receive it because you feel like it might be a rush to get the money and a lot of work. Do you see?
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we tap now for me to get that 20%?
So now we would go through a whole flow. So for example, Remember, it's the 3 A's. So first you acknowledge any stress, any feeling of like, that's not mine, that's not done.
Yeah.
Then you would accept it because there's probably a reason why, because you probably haven't got it.
Yeah.
And then you will affirm the same thing and the emotion that it will bring you. So we're going to just move to the sore spots. This is kind of like a little switch where you're allowing safety in the body. Okay. So we're going to say, so you fill in the blanks for me.
Okay.
Okay. When I think about £540,000, say that.
When I think about £540,000
in my bank account, I feel, tell me,
excited.
Okay. Because
I will be able to do so much more with my work.
Like
get a documentary series going.
All right. And so it is possible for me.
It is possible for me
to accept this. And know it's already done. How do you feel about that?
I feel quite confident, actually.
Good. Right. Take 2 hands. Chat with me now. I feel more confident.
I feel more confident.
Yeah. So tap like this. Yeah. And then sides of the eyes. I feel more confident about this. And then flutter under the eyes because we do some lymphatic drainage with rapid tapping too, because you want to look, you don't want to be banging. You want to be doing good stuff as well.
How good.
Yeah, I've got my glasses on, but hey. So now we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. I can do good stuff with this.
Under
the nose. I receive this money.
I
want to make impact.
Good.
Down sort of circle on the heart and collarbones, which is where we set point. Certainly in rapid tapping all the time. So you should feel, you said to me you wanted to feel a bit lighter. Feel lighter about that.
I feel more energetic for sure.
Good. Right now, so rub your hands together. Take a little smile, get some happy hormones going. Yeah. And then once again, just really quickly close your eyes and just imagine that going into your bank account like it's already done. Yeah? And say it's already done. Good. Now march your feet a little bit. Right, left. Woohoo. Good. Okay, open up your eyes. Lift your hands up a little bit higher. We're going to do that head hug.
Yeah.
That you like, okay?
I love that head hug.
3, 2, 1, hold. Close your eyes. Say it's done. Open your eyes, shake off your hands, put your hands back where we began, and then say this. I have £540,000 in my bank account.
And it
makes me feel
really excited about my future.
Lovely. How much do you believe what you've just said out of 100%?
I would say 90.
Woohoo!
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, I know it's not in my bank account though.
Yes.
So am I not just lying to myself?
No, because you feel good about it. If you felt rubbish about it and you felt scared and your body rejected it and you felt sweaty and awful, I wouldn't be having you do it.
Okay, but now how will I use that to manifest more money into my bank account? So let's just say, let's say I have, and I don't have, actually I'm not going to say that because then people are going to be like, you're going to say how much you have. So let's just not say how much I do have. Let's say I have 5% of that on my bank account right now. How am I going to fill that 95% gap of believing that I'm going to get that money in my account, and how am I actually tangibly now going to do it?
When you believe something more,
yeah,
you take action steps towards that goal. You believe it more, therefore you're collapsing time and you will get it faster.